So, welcome back to the second race of the day for the Dsbk National Championship here at the Dubai Autodrome. This is race number 2. We're down to 13 bikes, unfortunately. Well, the good news is at least one bike that did not finish the first race has started this race, or will start this race, but yeah, they are on the grid. As Saeed Al Salati will be the man on pole position. Alongside him will be Manuel Parra and Firas Abu Ghanem. And then Tom Robson, Rani Yashkov and Adrian Andurace will line up on the third row of the grid. Matteo Manera and Graham Purvis will line up alongside them. Well, actually, the order's just changed, so let's just double check that when they line up and they go across the line for the first time, because that'll be interesting to see, because actually showing us now that Tom Robson is the man that's out in front here. So what we're going to do now as well, we're going to get Mahmoud Tanir on the commentary team with us here. A former champion in the series, unfortunately not racing with us though anymore, is Mahmoud. But it's always great to see you, Mahmoud, and I know that you've been a massive supporter of the series. You're always here to give your expert advice, your opinions on everything, and it's just great to see you here all the time.
Done now is superb to try and still, you know, revive the championship, and you know, put in so much efforts as well. And I think the caliber is also quite good at the moment. You know, we've got some really fast riders as well at the front, and you know, and the rest of them obviously still building on experience. But always happy to come in and support the guys. You know, I've stopped about 3 years ago, but always kind of itching, you know, to be part of the action. But I think it's a great sport, and you know, I hope that fans will come even more and more. It's good to see all the activations from the Autodrome as well. Always great.
Yeah, so we're about to get ready for our second race of the day for the Dsbk National Championship, and the screen has corrected itself. And now we can see Manuel Parra slotted into the second grid position. On his right-hand side is Firas Abu Ghanem, and on his left is Saeed Al Salati, who will line up alongside him on the front row of the grid. Tom Robson, Ronnie Yashkov, and Adrian Andruchay are starting on the row behind them, and a great drive from those two, especially the two rookies, both Tom Robson and Rani Yashkov. A fantastic race they put on. But here we go, we're racing for the second time. And what do you think is going to happen down towards turn 1 here, Mahmoud?
Well, I'm hoping a better start from everybody. I mean, things can happen, as always crazy at turn 1, but let's see. It looks like a clean start from everybody else.
A great start there from Firas Abu Ghanem. He's already taken the lead away from Saeed as they turn down towards turn 1. Nice and clean, like you said, this time round, but Saeed is right there. But a blistering start there from the Wheeler Sheamus Racing Team driver.
That's a really good start. I think obviously for us we'll have some sort of a challenge now, you know, considering Saeed, but it's great to try and stick to him as you know, as good as possible or as close as possible. You know, we can see Saeed has taken the lead right now.
Yeah, he's retaken the lead. It was interesting because Firas Abu Ghanem was all the way to the right, left-hand side of the track. He tried to go around the outside. He started on the right, so that is very interesting. And he kind of slowed down a bit, went to the left of the track and went around the outside of Saeed. And what a great start this has been so far. And look at Manuel Parra, he's really stuck with these two guys here as well. So we're through now, through and onto the back straight before we hit the club link here for our 12-lap race. Unfortunately, Martin Vergenegg not with us, and we're still waiting for an update on Nekrasov as well. We'll get one for you as soon as we can. But for these three riders here, it's been a fantastic start for Saeed Al Salati, Manuel Parra and Firas Abu Ghanem. The two rookies are tucked in behind Tom Robson and Rani Yashkov. They gave us some fantastic racing here. And well, as a former racer yourself, Mahmoud Tanir, you've done this track a number of times. What's the feeling going through these riders' heads at the moment? Because of course, race 2 is the end of the day. The climate has changed, the conditions have changed, and everything like this. It's a different challenge, isn't it?
Absolutely. I think at the end of the day, I think every one of them wants to win. That's always the mentality. At the end of the day, you try to push yourself to the maximum. It's not easy, but it's always good to try and understand the conditions. Usually in the first few laps, this is very important. You know, you don't have a lot of confidence yet with the tires. You're waiting for them to warm properly, and then you start getting that feeling from the front, a little bit from the back, and to try to understand where are the slippery areas, where it's not. But at the same time, you're giving all, you're giving your all from the beginning. I mean, this is a sprint race where usually you don't really relax, so you have to give it 100% from the start. You could always see that there are certain gaps, but the top 3, usually the top 4, are always kind of stuck together, which is good to see. I just heard from the team also that Martin is relatively okay, so there is no, let's say, kind of big injuries of some sort, but surely he's a bit bruised and battered, and the bike is not fully ready. But again, I think especially on the national, the upper section, the first kind of 4 to 5 corners are very, very critical. It's very easy to lose the front there because you carry a lot of speed as well, especially on the edge of the tire, on the front tire. And there's a lot of time where you spend also on the right-hand side of the tire. So once you flick to the left also, you have cold kind of side, and it's very, very easy to lose the front. These guys are always kind of have these in the back of their minds, so sometimes you're a bit careful, but at the same time you want to build momentum.
It's a great battle between Manuel Parra and Firas Abouganem at the moment, but we're looking a bit further back here. This is the battle between Yashkov and Robson. Now, they went all the way to the very last lap of the race here to figure out who's going to be on the top step of the podium in the rookie category and who will be on the third step of the podium in the overall super stock. And again, they've done the same thing. They're constantly changing position. They've gone across the line there with 8/100ths of a second separating the two of them, and here we are down towards turn 1. That is Yashkov on the inside. Wow,
that was a close one. Whoa.
That was very close.
Trying
indeed.
to stay hard on the brakes there, yeah, but that was a very, very good move.
Now that was a hard-mouth moment right there, but as Mahmoud said, it was a very brave and a good move as well. That's what we like to see, and that's what we get with the Dsbk National Championship. We always see phenomenal racing. Like you said, it's great that we always have battles all over the place. Anywhere we look, doesn't matter where the camera pans, we're going to see some sort of battle. We might have Seed racing off in the distance, but then right behind him, we've got a battle. Like the battle at the moment we got behind one of the Walid Al-Shami's bikes, that is the 73. So that is Mohamed Shamsir, who was also on the podium. He was at the third step of the podium in the rookie category, but he's putting on a really good display here. He's really staying with the pack.
Absolutely, and also let's not forget, this is just the start of the season. Usually there's a lot of factors, that these guys start to think about as well. They're not still, acclimatized to the, to the change in the weather, and the pace of racing is so different as well, right? Like when you do all the practices before, the first race is always a little bit of a question mark to understand your pace, your opponent's pace, and what you could do. So I think the guys are building up to a really good season. I mean, I could see. It's nice to have to have all the battles throughout, and again, hopefully we get a lot more guys as well. I mean, I know now that we've got a couple of guys, that they're not racing because of the recent incident, but it looks great. Obviously, Saeed, I could see he has, some. Maybe he's on another pace at the moment, so I think if he continues like that, he could definitely probably clinch the first position.
So he's extended the lap up front to 5 seconds to the good. We briefly saw a shot there of Adrian there in the 73 leading the rest of the field there behind him. And we got one of the rookies, Mohamed Shamsir, excuse me, in the 39 bike. Now Graham Purvis and Matteo Monero, they've swapped positions, so that's now 9th for Graham Purvis and 10th for Matteo Monero. They've got some close battles looking further down the field, 4/10 of a second separating Adrian and Mohamed. Graham Purvis is only 2/10 of a second, and another 2/10 of a second back is Matteo Monero. Johan Gauss is a bit further down, 9/10 of a second, but remember he was on the podium earlier today in the modified, so let's see what he can do if he can work his way back up the order.
And also it's good to mention, race 2 is always a bit complicated because obviously you're a bit still tired, to be honest, physically from race 1. It's more or less always you see a little bit of a slower lap time towards the end of the race, where the physical kind of aspect of, started to come into play. But again, it's a tough sport. I mean, these guys, they have to be on form. They have to be, they have to train properly before the championship. You have to, commit to some sort of training to be always kind of, fit enough to do all the. Even though if it's a sprint race, but at the same time you give it your all. Like there is no room to breathe or to relax, otherwise you're gonna lose your position and even more, right? So kudos to these guys. They're doing a really good job now.
Here is Firas Abouganem and Manuel Parra. They're separated by 3/10 of a second between the two of them.
Yeah, it's close.
And it's interesting what you said, because also what's an integral part of motorcycle racing is you yourself. You play a very crucial role, because we're seeing this now as they work their way through the corners, especially the ones that are very sharp. because you have to lead into the corners, and that must be one of the most incredible feelings in the world. I do have a motorcycle license, but I've never gone motorcycle racing. I don't think I have the courage to actually do it. I don't think I could lead as much as you guys could do it. I've got to say, it is an important part, right? Because you have to shift your body weight left and right.
Absolutely, and you know these bikes, they're more or less around 165 to 170 kilos. So when you add all that speed on them, and you've got to wrestle them kind of left and right, it's not an easy job. The feeling is just incredible. Once you get used to that feeling and the adrenaline and the speed, it's very really hard to kind of like let go. But again, at the same time, you have to. Shifting your weights is very important, also not just to kind of steer the bike, but also you gauge the angle, you kind of like feel the grip at the same time. There's a lot of factors that come to come into play as well. The faster you get, also the more technically you become stronger. And also some of these guys might be able to use some data, for example, in their practices, looking at what's happening on the motorcycle side. But at the same time, it is more or less, I would say, an 80% of a rider, and the bike is really 20%. It's also a lot to do mentally, to be honest. In this sport, you have to be mentally strong, and it only comes with experience.
I can imagine, because when you're racing in a car, you've got a roof over your head, you've got a lot of space around you. Here it's just kind of you on the bike, as we're looking at now Mohammed Shamsir, who is leading this battle here, and it looks like Adrian has had a problem here because he's tumbled down to the back of this pack. Now remember, he was ahead of Mohammed Shamsir actually. Now Graham Purvis, Matteo Monero have all moved up, so I'm not sure what's happened. We couldn't quite see if there was anything. We didn't see anything on track, no local yellows either of any incidences that happened, but he is still circulating, which is great news. Al Salati continues to lead here by 7.6 seconds. He's just gone the fastest lap of the race as well, a 1:31.429, as he said, 7.6 seconds up the road. But the battle for second has raged on for 5 consecutive laps here. It's incredible how close these drivers are, especially on the super stocks, because remember, in the modified categories, you're allowed to play with the engine, you're allowed to add some modifications here and there, but in the super stock, the bikes are identical. There is no difference between them, and this is how level pegged the field is when you have gaps of 0.3 of a second for not just a lap, but 5 laps.
Absolutely. Saeed obviously have quite a lot of gap right now. I think he's in the zone, and when you're leading, actually it's easy to lose concentration because you don't have a reference anymore. But obviously with experience, like Saeed has, it's kind of maybe easier a little bit to maintain that. But again, I think the guys from the Superstock are doing really well, considering 1:33.0 is a respectable time on a Superstock, for sure, something to be proud of. I think Firas and Manuel are doing really, really well, considering it's a 2-second gap in terms of lap time to Saeed is a really, really good lap time.
And of course we have the 2 rookies as well battling it out here as well, Tom Robson and Rodion Yashkov. Actually, this is a bit further back because both have gone through just across the line there, so that's not Yashkov and Robson, but those two have put on an absolute phenomenal display of racing here, especially in the first race. Like we said, we had to find out on the last lap who was going to be on the top step of the podium in the rookie category and who would be on the 3rd step of the podium in the super stock category. Now we actually have all 3 rookies in close proximity. Yes, there's a bit of a gap between Yashkov and Shamsir. As things getting a bit tight further up the field by the looks of it. And actually that looks like some back market bikes that Firas and Manuel are coming up. This is sort of towards the tail end of the field. I think this is the 12 and 49 bikes, so that is Mohammed and Hussein, 2 of our other rookies that are here racing with us today, and they're kind of now getting the thick of things here. Saeed Al Salati's gone through, but now they're having to deal with a battle on track coming through, not just a single rider, and that of course adds to their experience. They're new to the championship. They haven't raced against a lot of these guys, or if any of them at any given time, so this is a great experience for them to learn from some of the best motorcycle riders in the region.
I think we're going to have a really good fight, I think, between these two. Looks like Manuel is really trying to catch up and stay close. There's just a couple of laps left, I think, but we might see a really good fight until the checkered flag here, because Manuel is picking up the pace. You can see he's getting really close. There's less than Well, 0.4 of a second right now. So with very similar lap times, if you look at 1 minute 34.1, 1 minute 34.2, so he's right there. It looks to me that he's looking maybe as a strategy of a last lap time, last lap kind of ding dong battle there, which is going to be great.
I think you're not wrong about that, because we're edging closer there to the club link, and we're looking on the right hand side. So here is the 51 on the left hand side of your screen. The 51 that's Graham Purvis. Was that Matteo Manero on his inside? Now Graham Purvis moves up. Now that would be Mohamed Shamsia that he's getting past, one of the rookies. There's Purvis, of course. Purvis, a long-standing name in the championship. I think you raced with him in previous seasons. I know honestly, it seems like you were only with us last season. I can't believe that you said it's been 3 years since we last saw you race here at the Autodrome. It's great to have your insights, and of course, you know a lot of these guys is very well on track. You've raced with a lot of them.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Some of these guys obviously have a lot of experience. I think there's a lot of strategies that these guys can use, especially against the rookies, against the newcomers, which you can only build by doing quite a lot of races and such. But yes, Purvis is, he's a great guy. He's always been kind of on form. He's kind of very, he's always looking after kind of finishing in the top 5, top 3, top 5 in most cases. So I'm sure he's and he's always very consistent. Like, you don't see him making a lot of mistakes and stuff. So obviously with experience, he can manage that.
And Monero and what looks to be, is that the 73? Is that Shamsia? No, it would be Shamsia that he's locked in battle with at the moment. Those two really, really close there, especially through the club link. Less than a motorcycle separating the two of them as they work their way through that sector. But now with Matteo Monero being released from the clutches of Mohamed Shamsia, he's now pushing to the back of Graham Purvis as they come across the line. It will be 4 laps to go for these two when they do come across the line. There was Shamsia in his rookie season here, really mixing it up with some of the old dogs here in the championships. Down towards turn 1 we go again with this battle. There's a few more bikes trailing them in the background. We can see Johan Gauss, who was on the podium earlier today. Adrian is also there Adrian was on the podium. It was the other Walid Al-Shami's bike, the 55 bike, that had the issues in turn 16 and had to retire the bike through there. Now we're looking at, I think that was a 55. No, that was the 73 we were looking at there, because that's at the tail end of the sort of quartet of bikes behind Johan Gauss at the moment as they work their way through Sector 1. Now, you've raced this track a lot. What is the hardest corner on a bike around the national circuit? If it's not the bowl, what is it?
I would say, I mean, for me, it's the braking point before the link to the bowl. So, the S chicane, basically, there's a very hard braking point there, and the reason for that is you would want to be braking and leaning at the same time to make the lap time there, and then suddenly you started going uphill, so you lose momentum also quite a lot. So you need to carry speed when you enter that corner while on the brakes. So at the same time, you don't want to lose too much momentum, because otherwise you lose a lot of lap time there, all across to the top of that hill.
And of course, it's like a direct right turn, is it? You stop and then you turn it right immediately.
And then there's an S chicane which relatively slows you down as well. So that is very tricky there.
And Manuel Parra has made the jump earlier than we expected. We thought he'd do that at the end, but he's done it earlier. Yeah. Now let's see when they work their way to the club link. Let's see that braking zone. So now they're hitting the brakes now and they're turning right. You see that they're leaning and braking at the same time. And I guess.
And now you're going up.
Yeah, and you've got so many things running through your head at the same time. It'd be interesting to think, how can you keep a clear head when you've got so many things to figure out when you're turning just right?
Well, I mean, part of the beautiful thing about this sport and motorsport in general is awareness. It amplifies like your awareness ability. You are able to kind of read the track and feel the bike, but at the same time you are really aware of what's around you. There are some exciting moments, especially, I mean, on the brakes. Because even though we wear the earplugs as well, but for example, when someone is diving inside of you or braking very hard, you actually hear them. You can hear their machines, and then you start to question, oh, shall I go in, shall I block, or shall I open the door? So it gets quite exciting from that aspect. But again, it's part of doing that racecraft and learning a lot, and before started learning strategies and being quite experienced in that field. But Manuel, I think, is doing a really good job. I think he's now pulling for us.
So we're looking there at the leader, Seydal Salati. We haven't spoken much about him. It's been a relatively incident and you know, he's just kind of in his own little world here at the moment. He's 11.6 seconds up the road. He's just slowly carving his way through the field, you know, putting a lap back on some other riders. He's working his way through the club link there and onto the bowl. So this time around, this is the penultimate time he's working his way through the bowl complex, and he'll be through turn 15 and 16 as he crests over the hill down towards turn 16. It'll be one lap to go, and it'll be a perfect weekend for him because he's looking for a second race victory here this time around. So down through turn 16, he's got some bikes in front of him, including, I think that's the 73 and 18 just in front. So now Al-Salati will start the final lap of the race this time round. One more lap. There is the 51. This is Graham Purvis again. Now, he was locked in that great battle a little bit further down the order. He's currently in 5th overall in the super stock, a little bit further back from Rodion Yashkov and Tom Robson. Now, it'll be interesting to see what those two are up to at the moment, because it looks like Tom Robson is only 0.2 of a second, what he was actually last time round, behind the 55 bike on the previous lap. Now let's see what he can do. Can he move up? He's still in 3rd position in the super stock category. He's leading the rookies at the moment. He's got a nice gap of 9.4 seconds between them.
Really close right now.
And there he is. That was Tom Robson trying to go the long way around the outside. That's not where you want to be. You want to be on the inside. But of course, he was trying every move that he could. And it seems to be Tom Robson, as we were talking to Nasser before as well, and Kyle, he doesn't seem like he is an actual rookie. He seems like he's been doing this forever. The confidence level that he has is absolutely incredible. And we saw that with that fantastic battle on the last lap in the last race.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say now that Saeed is quite comfortable. He's just going to ease off a little bit. You know, you can't ease off too much as well, because it's easy to make a mistake when you're leading and you really lose this kind of concentration and the speed. But I think you know, he got this one in the bag. Obviously, Saeed is a very, very experienced rider. He's done stuff in. He actually won the Spanish championship as well. It's a very high level. So seeing him here also helps all the other guys, you know, to be on form and learn from him. I would have loved to see Martin a little bit, you know, on that front end as well, but hopefully for the next time. But great racing so far.
So here comes Saeed now through the final corners here on the number 11, as he'll see the checkered flag first, and it is at the ready for him. And there he goes across the line. Saeed Al-Salati wins here by 11-ish seconds. Manuel Parra will come across the line in 2nd, and a few bikes also in the mix there as well coming across the line. Margin of victory 8.4 seconds at the line. So actually Al-Salati was slowed down by traffic. Firas Abou-Ghanem comes across the line in 3rd. He'll be very happy about that. And across the line will be Florian, who will take 2nd in the modified, excuse me, and he'll be 4th at the line as he's working his way through Sector 2 currently. Tom Robson, who will come across the line, he'll take the victory in the rookie category as long as he can stay ahead of Rodion Yashkov. But what about Tom Robson and actually the 55? I'm interested to see what will happen between those two, as we are still racing it. We still have a podium to decide. We have the Superstock rookies to decide, as they are currently working their way around. Well, actually, we've only got the rookies in the Superstock category. Now, is that Robson across the line? Not yet. That was Florian who came across the line there. There is Tom Robson. Now he will stay on the top step of the podium for the rookies, and once again he will be in 3rd overall in the Super Stocks. A great race here. Mahmoud, thank you so much for joining us.
Absolute pleasure.
It is a bit weird still not seeing you on the grid, and it's taken some time still to remember that you're not there, but again, thank you for your insight. Thank you for joining us here for the commentary.
Absolutely, I really enjoyed that as well. Thanks for the invite, really enjoyed it.
It was great to see you, and have a wonderful day. Of course, we have more racing action. We've got the podium as well coming up soon for the Dsbk National Championship. That, of course, was Mahmoud Tanir, a former champion in the series, helping us through this incredible Dsbk National Championship race. Well, that's race done and dusted. Saeed Al-Salati makes it 2 for 2 here this weekend. Manuel Parra 2nd at the line, with Firas Abou-Ghanem in 3rd. In the modified, Saeed Al-Salati ahead of Florian, and Johan Gauss will be on the 3rd step of the podium. But for the rookies and the Superstock category, because we missed that one out, Manuel Parra, Firas Abou-Ghanem, and once again Tom Robson will sit, or stand better yet, on the 3rd step of the podium. For the rookies, Tom Robson, Rodion Yashkov, and Mohamed Stamshir will be on the podium once again. for the second time today here at the Dsbk National Championship. So they'll pull into their pit garages, and of course they'll be with us momentarily. We've got a lot of podiums to do here today, especially for the Dsbk National Championship. We'll get a highlights real soon enough of the epic action that took place today, and I can assure you there have been some epic moves all over the track here today, especially in our second race. Just one more race to go here at the Dubai Autodrome, but before we do that, of course, we'll have the podium presentation for race 2 of the Dsbk National Championship. Seed Al-Salati, as we said, makes it 2 for 2 here today. A great way to start the weekend, and a great way to end the day for him as well, with a second victory. Firas Abu Ghanem will be happy with third, although he would like to have done one better. Beaten at the line by Manuel Parra. A great battle between those two, separated by 1.1 seconds between the two of them. A great drive from those two as Manuel Parra embraces the team there. The team very happy with that result, as is Manuel Parra. And, well, thanking the bike as well. Remember, it's a crucial part of winning the race, the bike, not just the rider himself. As congratulations from the team as a whole. So that wraps up this second race of the day for the Dsbk National Championship. They'll be back with us in February. It seems like such a long time till we go motorcycle racing once again, and there are the series organisers walking over to the Saeed Al-Salati ridden number 11. A fantastic victory, 2 for 2. He's going to be very, very happy with that indeed, and we'll see him on the podium momentarily. As he hops off the bike, as Mahmoud is telling us, it's not as easy as it might look, that's for sure. It is a grueling 12 laps. Might not be as long as our car races that we have here over the course of the weekend, but it's a very, very punishing time on the track. Just 12 laps of racing. You can see the guys are tired, although a lot of them still look pretty fresh when they come up on the podium, but of course that's after a quick cool down. You can see there is Manuel Parra talking with Saeed Al-Salati about that race. Of course, Manuel finishes second, but of course the winner in Super Stock, we're just ahead of Firas Abu Ghanem. More team come over to congratulate him after his epic weekend here in Dubai. Let's check out some highlights then for the race 2 of the Dsbk National Championship and all the excitement that unfolded.
One, two, three.
And that's race 2 done for Dsbk. Now, do bear with us. We're just waiting for the riders to make their way up to the podium presentation area. But of course, we'd like to take a moment here to thank the category sponsors, Al Yusuf Motors and Saxo, because of course they've been supporting us here for, well, the new season, which has been great. And of course, the second round here of the second race actually has been phenomenal. There's been some great action all the way through. We've had some enticing battles with Memo Para, Firas Abu Ghanem, and a number of other riders throughout the field. Now, the podium is going to be slightly delayed because I'm still waiting for the riders to show up. Of course, they're still debriefing themselves. They're actually a little bit further down there. I don't know if you can see any. Nope, they're all tucked into the pit garages at the moment. We did have the opportunity to have Mahmoud Tanir on commentary with us, who gave us some incredible insights to what it's like to be racing here in the Dsbk National Championship, because of course it is very grueling. It's not like it is racing a car, that's for sure. It's a lot different, and yeah, it might look easy because you're on two wheels, but there's a lot of stake, especially the shift of weight. That was quite interesting to find out that thing. So I do see that some of the riders are now making their way towards our position, but we don't have enough to do the podium just yet, so do bear with us. What we can do though is you can try and see if you can talk to anybody from the championship, because that would be great actually. You know what would be really good actually? We could talk to someone from Al Yusuf Motors to see, get their thoughts on the championship, because of course they are new to the season here, and it's great to have their support for Dsbk, of course, because it's always good to have an OEM, especially with a Yamaha, on board with the championship. Now, I don't know if I can see any of them inside, so I'm just gonna, do my thing here. I'm just gonna hop inside and I'll see if I can find anybody. Let's see, we don't have any riders yet. I know Mohammed Shamsir is here, but he's the only rookie so far. Do we have Saeed anywhere? No, we don't have Saeed anywhere as well. So I think we might have to, get some shots of the crowd around us here. To talk to me about joining Dsbk. So someone has kindly given us the marketing manager here from Al Yusuf Motors, and that'll be great to talk to them to get their insights and their feedback on the championship as well, as we wait for the drivers to make their way. Sorry, the riders. I've got to get that right. The riders. It's different. Riders, two wheels, riders. That's what they're doing. They're riding a motorcycle. But we'll see if we can get them in before we do the podium presentation. If not, then we'll go straight into the podium presentation. I'm not sure. Do we have three? I think we have three rookies here already. Let's just check with Kyle if he can give us the go-ahead. Nasser, do we have three rookies with us? We do have three rookies, great. Yeah. So we'll do Al Yusuf Motors later. Let's go straight into the podium presentation now. So without further ado, we would like to call up our podium winners. First up will be the Saxo Rookie Cup Race 2 winners. Now we have two guests that are going to help us here present our trophies. And then of course, one of them will be Nasser Saeed, the title sponsor and owner of Creative House Scaffolding, to present the trophies. But of course, he'll be joined by N&A. Well, he is a YouTuber. He's got 3 million followers on YouTube, and he's kindly joined us here. He is, of course, a boxer as well, so he's going to be helping us present the trophies. N&A, we appreciate you joining us here. If you could join Nasser and help us present the trophies. So let's bring out our rookies in the Saxo Rookie Cup. Let's first of all bring out third place overall. And please put your hands together for Mohammed Shamsir. So we'll invite Nasser to hand over the trophy. And he'll also be joined. Actually, no, NNA will help us present this trophy. Actually, they'll both help us present the trophy here for third place. To third place finish here in the Saxo Rookie Cup.
1, 2, 3.
As they will pose for the picture. And Nasser offers his congratulations, and then we'll move on to second place now. Please welcome, in second place in the Saxo Rookie Cup, Rodion Yashkov. And once again, Nasser Seed and NNA will present the trophy here to our second place finisher in the Saxo Rookie Cup for race 2. As hat in hand, and of course, trophy in hand as well, after a well-deserved second place in the Rookie Cup. And then we'll move on to the top step of the podium in the Saxo Rookie Cup. And please welcome to that top step. He's done it already once today, and he's done it again. Please welcome Tom Robson. So both NNA and Nasser Seed will be joining us in presenting the trophies here for our winner in the Saxo Rookie Cup in the Dsbk UAE National Championship. And we'll have a picture all together now as well with our top 3 here from the Saxo Rookie Cup. So they'll all line up on the top step of the podium there together. And then after this, we'll move on to the Al Yusuf Motors Super Stock Race 2 podium. So our next category will be Al Yusuf Super Stock category, and our honored guest today, Ahmed Tariq, head of Yamaha at Al Yusuf Motors, will be helping us present the trophies for this second race here. And well, let's start again in reverse order. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the podium, Tom Robson. And Ahmed Tariq, or a representative actually from Al Yusuf Motors, will be the one to hand out his trophy there for his third place efforts in the Super Stock category. Next up in second position, please welcome Firas Abu Ghanem. And once again, our representative from Al Yusuf Motors will hand over the trophy to our second place rider in the Super Stock category. And now to the top step of the podium in the Al Yusuf Motors Super Stock category, please welcome Manuel Parra. And once again, our representative from Al Yusuf Motors will hand over the trophy to our Race 2 winner in the Al Yusuf Motors Super Stock category. As they pose for the pictures. Be another trophy presentation done and dusted, then we can move on to our third and final podium presentation. And now we move on to the Al Yusuf Modifieds category. And once again, Ahmed Tariq and his team will be here assisting us to hand out the trophies to our top 3. Ladies and gentlemen, in third position in the Modified Sports Bikes, please welcome Johan Gauers. And once again, to help present our trophy, Ahmed Tariq from Al Yusuf Motors will present the third place trophy to Johan. And now let's bring up second position. Please welcome Florin Bilandine. in second place overall. After not the best finish for the first race, manages to complete the weekend with a trophy that he'll walk home with, and a well-deserved second position for him. And now, to the top step of the podium in the modified sports bikes. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Saeed Al Sulaiti. And a big response there from all involved for Saeed. And that wraps up the podium presentation here for the Dsbk National Championship. Thank you so much for joining us. As the group photos are now being taken, we'll take a short break and then we'll be back to racing action here with more action from the cars on our final race of the day, which will be for the Golf Pro Car.
I want mechanic, guys. I want mechanic.
See, you set good tire pressure.
Do it.
Nice to learn for you.
Why you don't tell me you guys take photos?
Healthy!
Mike.
Yeah, that's fine.
You should be alone. تعال take a photo
This way around. Yeah, it's broken. No, the other way, yes. Broken.
Mike.